Welcome back. This is Mr. Cisneros. In the previous video, we filled in our title block. We put in our name, project title, and scale. If you didn't do that, please watch the previous video to see how that's done. In this video, we're actually going to add a seventh sheet. So we're going to go ahead and click on New Sheet. And right here, we learned from last time, we can actually just fill in the title block automatically. Let's do all caps here. Speaker box project, and then scale 1/4. I'm going to click OK. And then in sheet 7, this is where we're going to place our presentation file. In order to actually place the file so that it's the exploded view, we actually need to do one more thing to our presentation. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to open that presentation file. I'm going to go to File, Open. And I'm going to search for the presentation. The presentation, remember, is the one that looks like it has a cylinder and a rectangle coming apart, like an exploded view. If you click on that, you go to Open. You can see our work from last time. If we hit play, that's the exploded view. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fast forward so it ends with all of the parts coming apart. So if I click this button right here, it'll have the exploded view. What I want to do is I want to zoom all. And then I'll zoom in just a little bit more. I think right there's good. And what I'll do is I'll click on New Snapshot View. And then right here on the top right corner, there's this View 1 that occurs. That's good. That's all we need to do. What we're going to go to now is File, Save, to make sure that those changes are saved, that view stays there. We can actually close the presentation now. We're done with it. And then right here, we're still in sheet 7. We're going to bring that view 1 into this sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Base. I'm going to go and search for my presentation. I'm going to click Open. And right there, it starts showing up. That looks really nice. But you can see the scale is 1/10. I would hope to see if 1/4 could fit, but it might be a little too big. Let's see. 1/4. Just might be a little too big. So what we can do is we can make it just a little bit smaller, maybe 1/6. That looks good to me. It'd be nice if we could shade it though. So if we double click it, we can click on Shaded and then click OK. So 1/6 is our scale, and you know what? We do have to make that change. Because 1/4 didn't fit, we actually need to change that to 1/6 for the scale. So inside of sheet 7, hit the plus sign for title block, double click the field text, and then right here we can change it from 1/4 to 1/6. Alright, we're going to click OK. Now what we need to do is we need to point to all of these parts, and we're going to do that by creating what are called balloons. So if we go to Annotate, Annotate tab, we can go over to the right and click Balloon. Now here's a little shortcut that'll automatically do it. We hit the plus sign, or the drop down arrow, and go Auto Balloon. We can click on this right here. And I think, let's see. If I click on this, yep, there we go. So it's getting highlighted blue. If you highlight all of them, then go over to Select Placement. We can go over here and click. And then we can go and Apply, click OK, and then close this out. You can see what happens is these balloons show up. We can actually move them to kind of reorganize them a little bit better. And what we can do is we can just click over, and you get that little icon, that move icon. Click and drag it to make this look a little bit cleaner by moving the balloons around. There we go. And you'll notice that it only has 4 balloons, even though we have 6 parts. Remember that we modeled this out so that the top and bottom are the same IPT, And same thing for the right side, left side. So it'd be redundant to include 6 balloons when they're the same exact part. So just organizing these balloons, make them look a little bit cleaner there. That's good. Last thing to do is to create a parts list. So the parts list will give us a little bit more information on what this design is made of, and maybe even a little bit more information on the individual parts. So if we go over here to parts list, we can go and select the assembly or presentation. Either one I believe works. Let's go ahead and try it with the presentation. Click open and click OK. You can see that a box gets attached to your cursor. All you got to do is go to the top right corner and click, and the parts list starts to show up there. Now we do have to make some edits here, some changes to this, because we don't want this category. We don't want a description category. We don't even want a part number category. Item and quantity is fine. We can keep that there, but we do want to change what is shown on this parts list. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click this, and then over here we're going to click on this button called Column Chooser, so we can choose what columns exist. We can click here, and you'll see that the ones that exist are on the right hand side. So part number, description, remember those aren't the ones, those are the ones we don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and double click it to get rid of it. Double click to get rid of it. And over here on the left side, I'm going to scroll through these to see which ones do I want to grab. And it is important to grab these in the correct order, or else you'll have to kind of reorganize them over here. The one that I'm going to double click first is file name. Then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to double click on, let's see, material. And then I'm going to double click on mass. Okay, so then that gives us a little bit more information. It tells us what the file name is. It tells us, it tells us what the material is, and it tells us what the mass is of that material or that object. We can go ahead and click OK. We can click apply and then close this box. You can see that the words get bunched up here. They don't fit on one line. So what you can do is you can make these boxes bigger or smaller. If I drag here to here, you can see that that file name box gets a little bit wider. It gets to fit everything on one line. Same thing with the material. And then same thing over here with the mass. Once I do it enough, you can see how it fits itself a lot better. These columns are way too wide as well, so I can actually make those smaller here, just like that. All right, that is our exploded view with parts list. This is our 7th sheet. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.